The air was still when the first blast hit. A bright beam of light came from the alien ship and struck a city by the sea. Buildings melted. Cars flew into the sky like toys. The water boiled. In just 10 seconds, over 1 million people were gone. Nothing was left but ash and silence. It was not a warning. It was a message. The aliens had spoken without words. They wanted Earth to see their power. And the world saw. News spread like wildfire. Every screen showed the destruction. People cried, screamed, prayed. The name of the city was now a memory. The aliens had kept their promise. It was day 7. And this was their answer to Earth's silence. But far away, in a cold mountain base hidden underground, the response had already begun. Commander Ray stood in front of a group of soldiers. These were not ordinary soldiers. Each one had trained in silence, in pain, in secret. They were faster, stronger, and sharper than anyone on the planet. The project that created them was hidden for years. Now it was active. "They hit us first," Ray said, his voice like stone. "They think fear will break us, but fear does not break humans. It wakes us up." One soldier raised his hand. His name was Dax. Tall, quiet, with eyes like steel. "What's the target?" Ray pointed at the map on the screen. It showed a small alien outpost near the ruins of the destroyed city. "It's just a scout base, but it has tech we can use. Your mission. Take it. No survivors." The team nodded. No questions. No hesitation. That night, under the cover of darkness, a stealth aircraft flew low over the land. Inside were 7 soldiers, each carrying a weapon made from both human and stolen alien tech. The ship made no sound. It moved like a shadow through the clouds. Below, the alien outpost stood quiet. Tall black towers with blinking red lights. No one expected an attack. Earth was supposed to be afraid. The ship landed behind a hill. The team moved fast, silent, deadly. Within seconds, they reached the outer wall. One of the soldiers, called Nira, placed a small device on the wall. It blinked once, and the wall vanished. They slipped in like ghosts. Inside, alien machines walked in circles. Guards with glowing rifles stood near the doors. But the humans didn't wait. Dax moved first. One shot, silent, straight to the head. The guard dropped. Another soldier threw a disc that stuck to a tower and exploded quietly, disabling all lights. In darkness, the aliens began to panic. But panic made no difference. The humans were already inside. In just 6 minutes, it was over. The base was silent again, but this time, filled with the bodies of the invaders. The human team began collecting tech, computers, weapons, even bodies for study. Every piece of alien knowledge was useful. Back in the ship, as they flew home, Dax looked out the window at the stars. "They wanted a message," he said. "We just sent one." In space, the alien warship watched the Earth. The commanders inside were sure of their plan. One strike would be enough to crush hope. One city gone, and the humans would break. But then the signal came. A message from their outpost, silent for hours. It was not from an alien. It was a human voice. "You think we are weak, but we are the storm. We are coming." The alien general froze. He turned to the screen and opened the security feed from the outpost. What he saw made him lean forward. Bodies. Alien bodies. Every guard was down. Every system offline. The camera showed 7 humans walking through the smoke, calm, cold, without mercy. The general hissed a command. "Send in the hunters." The hunters were elite alien warriors, stronger than any army. They had destroyed planets before. The humans would be nothing. But the general was wrong. In the human base, scientists studied the stolen tech. Engineers worked without sleep. AI systems decoded alien codes. Every hour, Earth grew stronger. And the humans who fought, they were not afraid. They had already seen the worst. They had nothing to lose. Commander Ray looked at the data. He saw how the aliens responded. He smiled. "They're scared now," he said. "Good. Let them be." And in space, for the first time in many years, the alien empire felt something they never expected to feel again. Doubt. Because Earth did not fall. It rose. The stars had not seen silence like this before. The alien commanders sat still, watching the screen. One of their scout bases was gone. Not damaged, destroyed. By humans, a race they once called primitive. Now, they were not so sure. On Earth, in a secret underground facility known as Red Core, scientists worked like machines. The stolen alien tech was on the tables. Glowing, spinning, strange. Dozens of minds, the best on the planet, surrounded it with scanners, drones, and nervous eyes. It was technology far beyond anything humans had made. Dr. Selen, a lead engineer, pointed to a floating piece of alien metal. "This bends light. It can make anything invisible," she said, amazed. Her assistant whispered, "We could use this for armor, for weapons." Commander Ray stood behind them, listening. His arms were crossed, face unreadable. "I don't want to use it later," he said. "I want to use it now." The truth was, Earth had been preparing for years. Long before the aliens arrived, small groups inside world governments had believed something was out there. Old alien crash sites, UFOs people laughed at, had left behind small broken machines. Secret labs had studied them for decades. Most of the world never knew. But Red Core knew. And now, all those years of hidden research were finally useful. Deep below the lab, in a locked chamber, another project was waking up. It was called Project Echo. No one outside the base had ever seen it. A machine, half human, half alien, built to connect directly to minds. One of the soldiers from the mountain team, Nira, was chosen to test it. She sat in a dark room. Wires ran from the machine into her head. Her eyes were closed, breathing calm. The scientists watched closely. Dr. Selen spoke into a mic. "Can you hear me, Nira?" A soft voice replied, not from her mouth, but from the machine's speakers. "Yes, I see everything. I see the stars." Everyone froze. "She's connected," Selen whispered. "She's inside the alien network." Nira's mind floated through signals, flashes of alien ships, maps, numbers. She could hear their language, feel their thoughts. She wasn't just seeing, she was spying. Back in the main control room, Ray received the first data from Nira's session. A list of alien ship names, locations, even weaknesses in their shields. He smiled. They thought they were watching us, but now we're watching them. Meanwhile, the aliens were not sitting still. Inside their flagship, General Cathar growled orders. "These humans are learning too fast. Their minds are unstable, dangerous." His second in command, a cold-eyed creature called Varnex, replied, "Do you want us to begin planetary strikes?" Cathar shook his head. "No. First we study them. Then we end them." He sent more drones to Earth, some visible, others hidden. They needed to understand the human secret, what made them adapt so fast. But Earth noticed. Project Echo picked up the signals before the drones even landed. Commander Ray sent out silent response units. These were soldiers trained to hunt anything that moved without a sound. In one city, a drone tried to scan a power plant. It floated like a black spider in the night sky. But before it could finish, a human sniper fired one bullet, directly into its core. It dropped without a sound. Another message had been sent. The war had not started fully, but the fire was rising. Back at Red Core, Ray sat in the war room, watching all operations in real time. One officer said, "Sir, the aliens don't understand why we're not breaking." "They never will," Ray replied. "They don't understand what we've been through. Wars, disasters, pain. We're not just fighting with weapons. We're fighting with memory. Outside, in the dark sky, another alien ship entered Earth's orbit. Bigger, faster. Its lights glowed red. It carried the hunters. The alien general finally spoke to Earth again. This is your final warning. Surrender now or face extinction. The humans didn't respond with words. Commander Ray simply pressed a button. Across the globe, hidden weapons rose from underground. Satellites changed position. Bombers went into the sky. The humans were ready. In the chamber, Nira opened her eyes. They think we are afraid, she said calmly. They don't know. Fear is our weapon. And far above, inside the enemy ship, the alien commander stared at the Earth below. Something was wrong. They were supposed to be the hunters. But now, it felt like they were the prey. The night sky burned red as the alien warship entered Earth's lower orbit. It wasn't just big, it was terrifying. 10 times larger than the last ship, covered in armor, surrounded by smaller escort crafts like metal sharks. People across the globe could see it with their own eyes. It looked like a second moon, but angry. Inside the ship, the hunters prepared for war. These were not soldiers. They were creatures built for one thing: destruction. 7 feet tall, skin like metal, claws sharp as blades. Their minds were linked, cold, and logical. No fear, no mercy. Every planet they had landed on before had fallen within hours. But Earth wasn't like other planets. On the ground, humans had changed. They were no longer confused, no longer running. The attacks had woken something inside them, something old and dangerous. Across the world, in bunkers, forests, deserts, and hidden cities, resistance units had formed. People who had never held guns were now training side by side with soldiers, farmers, students, scientists, hackers, mechanics. They were all part of it now. In a quiet underground station, Commander Ray stood in front of a screen. A 3D model of the new alien warship rotated slowly. "They've sent the hunters," he said. His voice was low, but calm. "This is their elite strike force. They think it will break us." Dr. Sellen stepped forward. "They don't know we cracked their armor codes. We can track them, maybe even slow them down." Ray nodded. "Good, but we're not just going to slow them. We're going to show them who they're dealing with." An order went out. Code name: Black Rain. It was Earth's first global counterattack. As the hunters landed in 4 major zones, Africa, South America, Eastern Europe, and Southeast Asia, humans were waiting. Not just with bullets, with traps, with tech, with fury. In a jungle near the Amazon River, a unit called Ghost Team 3 waited in silence. They had heat cloaks, alien stun rifles, and motion sensor landmines. When the first hunter stepped into the trees, the team didn't scream. They didn't panic. They struck. One soldier hit the hunter with a gravity pulse, pinning it to the ground. Another climbed onto its back and drove an energy spike into its neck. The beast roared, thrashed, but it fell. "One down," whispered the team leader. 3 to go. Across the world, similar stories unfolded. Hunters were fast and brutal, but they were not gods. And humans had learned fast. In South Africa, rebels lured hunters into a fake village loaded with traps. In Romania, engineers hacked a drone to explode near a hunter's command helmet, blinding its entire squad. In Vietnam, old tunnels from past wars became battle paths again, this time lit with plasma mines. But not every fight was a victory. In Poland, an entire resistance team was lost, burned alive by a hunter's plasma cannon. Their bodies were never recovered. A message was found on the wreckage. We held the line. Back at Red Corps, Nira continued to use Project Echo. Her mind stayed deep inside the alien network. She saw their strategies. She heard their anger. "They're confused," she said. "They didn't expect resistance like this." Commander Ray looked at her, then back at the map. "Good. Let them feel confusion. Let them feel fear. In space, General Cathar watched the reports come in. Hunter losses, failed missions, human resistance growing. It made no sense. These creatures were supposed to kneel. Instead, they were rising. They adapt, said his advisor Varnex. Too fast. Cathar clenched his claws. Then we burn them all. The ship began charging its main cannon, a weapon strong enough to destroy a city in seconds. Their target, Tokyo. But Earth had one more surprise. Dr. Selen had secretly sent a virus into the alien system, delivered through Project Echo, a silent digital snake. As the alien cannon powered up, the virus activated. The screen on Cathar's war table turned black. Then it flashed a human message. One sentence. We are not afraid of you. The cannon shut down. Systems glitched. Lights flickered. And on Earth, people cheered. Commander Ray looked up at the sky. You came to hunt us, but now you're bleeding. And in space, for the first time in centuries, the alien general looked at a planet and wondered if this time they had made a mistake. Smoke rose from the wreckage of the jungle battlefields. Alien hunters lay broken, some missing limbs, others burned into ash. Humanity had done what no other species could. It had stopped the unstoppable. But the cost was high. Cities were scared. Thousands had died. Yet the world didn't mourn in silence. It screamed with one voice. We're still here. At Red Core, the underground base buzzed with movement. Screens flashed with new data, alien signals, and decoded transmissions. Commander Ray stood by a glass wall, watching as soldiers trained below. Faster now, sharper. Battle had changed them. Dr. Selen entered with urgency in her eyes. We've cracked something. A big piece of their language grid, she said. Ray turned. How big? It's a control code, used to move their ships. If we understand this, we can intercept. Maybe even hijack one of their ships. He didn't blink. Do it. Meanwhile, Nira remained connected to Project Echo. Her face was pale. Her body shivered, but her mind floated deep inside alien systems. Every hour inside felt like a battle. But she didn't stop. I can see their fleet, she whispered. There's something coming. Something massive. How massive? Ray asked. She swallowed. They call it the Cleanser, the planet killer. It's alive. That word made the entire room go silent. Back in space, inside the alien warship, General Cathar stared at a strange pulsing object kept deep within a sealed chamber. It looked like a black heart made of metal and fire. The Cleanser. A living weapon born in a lab and designed for one purpose, to eat a world. Cathar spoke with cold rage. The humans do not break. So now we remove the need to fight. We erase. The Cleanser would be launched in 4 days. Earth would be nothing but dust. On Earth, the humans didn't wait. Operation Iron Pulse began. Commander Ray's new plan was risky. Mad, even. But it was their only chance. They would send a small team to hijack one of the alien warships. Get inside. Take control. Use their own ship against them. Dax Nira, now partly connected to the alien network, and 3 others were chosen. Their mission: board the alien warcraft hovering near Earth's orbit, the one still blinking after the virus attack. Their ship was small, fast, and nearly invisible, built using the same tech Earth had stolen. As it left Earth's atmosphere, the team sat in silence. No speeches, no goodbyes, only focus. Above, the alien ship looked like a mountain in the stars. Cold, silent, waiting. The human craft attached to its hull like a tick, quiet and undetected. They entered through a maintenance hatch. Inside, the corridors pulsed with green light. Strange alien sounds echoed around them, like whispers. We're in, Dax whispered, moving to the control deck. Nira placed her hand on the wall. I can feel it. Their systems are watching. but they don't understand us. They moved quickly. One wrong move, one sound too loud, and the mission would fail. Back at Red Corps, all eyes were on the live feed. Dr. Selen clenched her fists as she watched their camera flicker. Then, gunfire. 3 alien guards appeared out of nowhere. A fast, brutal fight followed. The team was trained, but the aliens were faster. One human went down, burned by a plasma shot. Dax growled and launched himself forward, driving a stolen blade into the guard's neck. Nira sent a neural shockwave through the ship's walls, disabling power in the hallway. The rest of the path was dark. They reached the control deck. Massive screens showed the orbit path of the cleanser. A countdown had already begun. "We have 3 days," Nira said. "Maybe less." Dax sat at the main panel, trying to upload Earth's virus into the ship's core. "Buy me time," he said. More aliens were coming. From every hallway. Hundreds. Back on Earth, Red Corps picked up an energy spike. The alien fleet was waking up. Earth had hours, maybe only 1 day, before the cleanser was fully activated. But inside that ship, something changed. Nira screamed. Her body jolted. Her eyes turned black for a moment. She wasn't just connected to their systems. She was becoming part of them. "I can stop it," she said, "but I might not come back." Dax looked at her. "Don't." But she had already begun. Her mind merged deeper into the alien code. She became a virus, a ghost in their machines. Lights exploded. The ship groaned like a dying beast. Outside, Earth's satellites saw the alien ship stutter, then fall. Commander Ray whispered, "They've done it." But no one knew if Nira was still alive. The sky over Earth was clear for the first time in weeks. No alien ships, no battles, no noise. But it wasn't peace. It was the silence before a storm. At Red Corps, Commander Ray stood before a table full of holograms. Maps of space, timers, warship paths, and in the center, a pulsing red dot, the cleanser. It hadn't launched yet, but its systems were active. Its energy readings were rising fast. "She stopped the countdown," Dr. Selen said softly. "She?" Ray asked. "Nira." They still didn't know if she was alive. After merging with the alien ship systems, her body had gone silent. Her vitals were weak, but her mind, her signal, was still out there. In the medical chamber, Nira's body lay in a sealed pod. Wires ran into her head. Her chest rose slowly. The machine beeped once every few seconds. Scientists stood by, not touching anything. No one wanted to interrupt the link. But Nira wasn't gone. She floated in darkness, surrounded by code, sound, and light. She was inside the alien network, seeing what they saw, feeling what they felt. And deep in the network, she found something unexpected. Fear. The aliens were not gods. They were afraid of something. Not humans, not weapons, but failure. They were not just conquerors. They were running from something. Something worse. From deep space. Nira saw flashes. A black hole. A signal. A shape with too many arms. Even the alien generals didn't speak of it. But it was there. Waiting. Watching. The true enemy. Back on Earth, Commander Ray made a bold decision. "We're not waiting for them to come again," he said. "We take the fight to them. Into orbit. Into their command." Operation Skyfire began. Humanity had been building secretly for years. Fast ships made from alien tech, stealth armor, and long-range cannons powered by stolen energy cores. Now it was time to use it all. 5 ships rose from hidden bases, light-speed engines, cloaking shields, human pilots trained like wolves. Dax, who had returned from the hijack mission, now led the strike team. He stood in the launch bay, helmet under his arm. "If Nira bought us time," he said, "we better make it count." His team nodded. No fear, only fire. The ships launched. Above the clouds, the stars opened up. The alien fleet waited there, still circling Earth. The cleanser, the mothership, and hundreds of smaller vessels. But they didn't see the human ships coming. Inside the cleanser, chaos was rising. Nera had shut down its control core, but the alien engineers were trying to reboot it. A dark general named Jurin now stood in command. Cold, brutal, and silent. He gave the order. Cleanse Earth now. But as the cannon began to charge, a human ship appeared, right in front of the lens. Dax fired the first shot. A focused plasma burst hit the cannon's outer shell, cracking it. Then another ship followed, and another. The sky lit up with fire. On Earth, people watched from rooftops. Everyone, young, old, soldiers, civilians, looked up at the battle unfolding in the stars. For once, they weren't just hiding. They were witnessing history. In space, the battle turned brutal. Alien drones swarmed. Human ships dodged, weaved, fired. Inside Dax's ship, alarms blared. "They're jamming our weapons," his co-pilot shouted. "Then we get inside," Dax growled. His ship turned sharply, flying toward a small entry gate on the cleanser's surface. It smashed through, spinning through fire. Inside, soldiers dropped from the ship, landing in the enemy corridor. Hand-to-hand combat exploded. Humans versus aliens. Swords against plasma. Blood in zero gravity. Dax fought like a wild beast. No mercy. No backup. They reached the control chamber. Nera's voice echoed through the speakers. "I'm here." A screen lit up. Her face. Weak, but smiling. "I'm inside their brain now. Just give me one more minute." Dax stood over the console. "We're with you." Outside, the aliens realized they were losing control. Jurin screamed, ordering all ships to destroy the cleanser rather than let humans win. But it was too late. Nera spoke her final command. "System override." The cleanser stopped glowing. Then, it turned. Now, the weapon faced the alien fleet. "You ran from monsters," she said. "But now, you met one. One beam, one shot." The cleanser fired, at its own creators. 5 alien ships were destroyed instantly, the rest scattered, confused and terrified. Human ships pulled back. The cleanser began to break apart. Its core had overheated. Flames burst out. Pieces fell toward Earth's atmosphere. Nera's signal went silent. Back on Earth, Red Core was quiet. Then Ray spoke. She did it. And across the world, people cheered. Not just because they had survived, but because they had won. The war was over. The sky no longer burned. The enemy was gone. But Earth was changed forever. Cities still stood, but many were broken. Forests burned, oceans bruised, and skies filled with the smoke of fallen ships. Millions had died. Families were shattered. But humanity stood tall. They had survived the cleanser. They had taken down the strongest alien fleet the galaxy had ever known. They had fought back. In the days that followed, people all over the world lit fires, not for war, but for memory. Soldiers placed photos of lost friends on walls. Children drew pictures of human ships defeating monsters in the stars. Survivors cried, laughed, and hugged each other like they had just come home from a storm. At Red Core, the silence felt heavier than before. Commander Ray stood alone in the main chamber, looking at a black screen. Nera's signal had vanished with the cleanser. No trace, no return. She was gone. "She gave us a future," he whispered. Dr. Selen entered behind him. "A full analysis came in," she said. "The virus she uploaded, it didn't just destroy their systems. It copied them. We now hold full data on alien tech. Weapons, ships, even their star maps." Ray turned slowly. "Star maps." Selen nodded. "We know where they came from, and where they ran." There was silence between them. Then the question neither wanted to ask, but both were thinking. "Do we go after them?" Months passed. Earth began to rebuild. New cities rose from the ruins. Old enemies became allies. Borders opened. There was only one flag now: humanity. The United Earth Federation was formed. A single voice, a single army, a single purpose. And in secret labs, engineers began building something new, something far beyond the alien tech. A ship larger than anything Earth had ever seen. Fast, silent, armed with weapons the galaxy had never witnessed. Its name, the Revenant. And it was not built to defend Earth. It was built to send a message. Dax, the soldier who had led the team into the alien ship, now stood on the launch deck. He wore a black uniform with no name tag. No ranks, just one symbol: the Earth Flame. Beside him, young recruits lined up, trained from different countries, different languages, but with one goal. They thought we would forget, Dax said, voice steady. They thought they could run. He looked up at the stars. But we remember. Above Earth, satellites broadcasted a final message into space, toward every corner of the galaxy. It showed images: the first alien ships landing, the destruction, the human counterattacks, the battles, the victory, and finally, a voice. To those who watched us burn, to those who ran while we bled, we are still here. We are not afraid. We are coming. The galaxy heard the message. Some listened in silence. Some hid. And some prepared. Back in the stars, in a distant corner of the universe, the remnants of the alien fleet limped through the dark. Their ships were cracked. Their soldiers wounded. Their command broken. General Cathar sat alone in a quiet chamber, listening to the human broadcast on a loop, over and over. The voice, the fire, the warning. He closed his eyes. They were not prey, he whispered. They were the storm. And behind him, a shadow moved. A larger, darker shape. The one thing even the aliens feared. The being from the deep void. The real enemy. Watching. Waiting. And now, it had seen Earth. Earth won the battle. But the war was only beginning. And now, the galaxy knew the truth. Humans don't run. Humans don't beg. Humans fight. And when they fight, they finish it.